In Satan we trust, the dissenting opinion of Justice Guy Fawkes, The Devil's in the Details, the gap theory. In 1583 to 1643, a Dutch Armenian theologian named Simon is the first to point out what would be called the gap theory. According to the gap theory, there's a very long gap between Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 and Genesis chapter 1 verse 2. The theory proposes that the world that existed during this gap is said to be destroyed, and what was recreated was the world that we know now today. Thus, this theory seems to find a middle ground which allows for an old earth as well as a literal creation of 6 days, as described in the book of Genesis. On one hand, adversaries of this theory argue that this is like doing intellectual biblical gymnastics with the text. On the other hand, supporters of this theory point to biblical text, such as 2 Peter 3:5 and Ecclesiastes chapter 1. In Ecclesiastes, it has been taught, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, See, this is new, it hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after." Now, supporters of this theory also point to texts like the Apocrypha. In the second book of Enoch, we see God showed Enoch the epic of this world that exists in existence for 7,000 years, and 8,000 is the end. This becomes important because we're now discovering sites like Göbekli Tepe that dates from 12,000 to 10,150 BCE, which predates the traditional biblical timeline significantly. The traditional biblical timeline suggests a creation that starts at 4004 BCE. Some biblical scholars have reproposed this gap theory as a possible solution to the timeline discrepancy. Regressing to the book of Genesis, we see in chapter 1 a general description of the fall, as is written, "And God said, Let there be light, and there was light, and God saw that light was good, and God divided the light from the darkness." Thus, we see a general description of the fall. From this point forward, Satan is connected as a representative and a euphemism for darkness. In the book of Isaiah, we see a specific description of the fall, as is written, "How you have fallen from heaven, O shining, son of the morning, how you are cut down to the ground, you who weaken the nations. For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit." Some scholars maintain that this fall happened on day 1 of the pre-creation. But where did he fall? In the book of Ezekiel, we see in chapter 28 an answer. "It has been taught, I will cast thee to the ground." Here, ground is the same word for earth, and so we see Satan being cast to earth. This is also seen in Job 1 when the rhetorical question is asked to Satan, "Where have you come from?" To which Satan seems to sarcastically reply, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it." In the book of Luke, Yehoshua ben David, also known as Jesus, says, "I beheld Satan as lightning fall from the heavens. On day 1, no land yet has appeared. And so one may see light or lightning falling from heaven into the waters." Some interesting oddities are happening as this happens. In the book of Ephesians, we're given a description of Satan as the prince of the power of the air. I submit to you that as he is falling to earth, that this is when Satan is enthroned as the prince of the power of the air. It is important to remember Satan is cast out on day 1, and no life comes until day 5, concerning the fish and the birds. In addition, no land appears until day 3, and no humans until day 6. Moreover, the other angels that rebelled do not show up until Genesis 6. Yet it must be remembered that in the book of Enoch, it is recorded that in the 6th generation from Adam, in the time of Jared, angels rebelled and fell to earth, which seems to match up. And so we see Satan as all alone or sidelined, as creation continues to manifest day after day. Some scholars have proposed that the days mentioned in the Bible in the creation period were 24 literal days. Their support for this theory is found in Exodus chapter 20. Still, other scholars have proposed that those days were figuratively 1,000 years. They support their theory from Psalms chapter 90, as well as the New Testament book of 2 Peter and Revelation chapter 20. Now, on day 5, we may observe the creation of the fish and the birds, Satan's second kingdom. With the creation of the water and heavenly animals, we may observe Satan is able to possess some aspects of creation. We know this because he is called the Lord of Flies, also known as Beelzebub, the prince of demons. Beelzebub was the god of the Philistine city of Ekron. This is found in 2 Kings, chapter 1, verses 1 through 18. In addition, Beelzebub is also connected to Egyptian mythology, associated with the scarab. In contemporary manifestations of this motif, we may observe it in the rock band The Beatles, as well as in Hollywood with the release of The Blue Beetle. The book of Job, chapter 41, discusses the beast of the water, or Leviathan, which is an allusion to Satan. Here it is written that Satan is the king over the children of pride. The Leviathan appears 6 times in the Bible. In the book of Job, chapter 40, we see the beasts of the land, or behemoth, which is yet another allusion to Satan. Thus, we may observe that before the creation of Adam and Eve, Satan was the prince, the Lord, and the king. But of course, this is just another coincidence. Thank you for tuning in to today's exploration of In Satan We Trust, the dissenting opinion of Justice Guy Fawkes. If you enjoyed this deep dive and wish to join our community of curious minds, don't forget to like this video. It really supports the channel. Leave us a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and engage in a thoughtful discussion. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications on our latest uploads. Your engagement helps us bring more insightful content like this to you. Keep questioning, keep learning, and as always, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.